Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, AI versus AI, the future of ethical hacking. Presenting today's topic, Ronald Clanton. Ronald is a cybersecurity consultant and trainer with extensive experience in delivering training and guidance across ethical hacking, penetration testing, and AI-driven cyber defense. Through his firm, U.S. Computer Support, he provides practical, hands-on learning to help professionals strengthen their security posture and stay ahead of emerging cyber threats. With extensive experience in high-stakes tech environments, Ronald helps organizations build resilient defense systems and trains IT professionals to tackle emerging AI-driven cybersecurity threats. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Data and AI practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. This session is designed to give cybersecurity professionals and ethical hackers practical insights and expert guidance on how AI is transforming both attack and defense. As artificial intelligence reshapes the cybersecurity landscape, you'll explore real-world scenarios, advanced tools, and tested techniques that reveal how AI can be used to both exploit and secure digital systems. Discover how attackers are leveraging AI for smarter, faster, and more adaptive attacks, and how defenders are fighting back with AI-powered detection, prediction, and response. Now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Ronald, thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. AI versus AI, the future of ethical hacking. My name is Ronald Client, and I'm a senior technical and trainer, ethical hacker, and netcom learning instructor. How AI is used by both the attackers and the defenders. So, in this age of AI, attackers and defenders are actually in a battle of wits with each other. The attackers are now utilizing things like ChatGPT and other large language models to build attacks. It used to be you had this individual that wrote code and they were manipulating malware to provide attacks and put that together. But now the malware itself is being constructed by AI and it's put there in the wild on the internet. The defenders now have to try to utilize that same tool to stay not ahead, but just right on track with the attackers. If you'll look now on things like LinkedIn, you'll see data breaches and cyber attacks on a much, much more rigid and faster scale. Now, identifying emerging AI-driven cyber threats through real-world cases, such as renderings, fake voices, all the deep fakes that we have to deal with now. One of the key things that, in my career and what I deal with weekly is the phishing scams. Phishing scams that are constructed by AI are so realistic that it's made to build upon the psychology of the human being to bypass and get into the systems. There are several things that have taken place with different companies. As a matter of fact, OpenAI now is dealing with something as they try to build guardrails, and those guardrails were broken through by hackers and a test and so forth. But it was broken through to make the AI do something that it wasn't supposed to do. Now, experience live demos and ethical hacking tools enhanced by AI. There's a popular operating system called Kali Linux. Now, Kali Linux has pretty much been a lethal tool for a long time for hackers and those who are practicing AI, well, hacking or just putting together the things to help a company defend against hacking. AI is now a part of Kali Linux. Explaining it to students around the world has been a shock to them. With Kali Linux already being a fundamentally dangerous tool as it is, now you're using AI to help enhance it. And I look for other different operating systems also to jump aboard that. Now, as we learn the best practices for responsible and compliant AI use, we have to look at the AI can only do what it's instructed to do, good or bad. We need to make sure that all of the responses that need to be taken care of are taken care of. I've built a Gen AI, personal Gen AI for myself. So the information that I put in there is legitimate information. AI can receive bad information that it can utilize to do bad things, especially when it's being molded in its beginner mode to be able to, um, whether it's to do hacking or to do penetration testing or ethical hacking to make a company much stronger. The compliant of just the different rules, I suspect NIST, which is the government base for what you can and what you cannot do, basically, will have something to say about the AI use in cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Now, map your path with AI Ethical Hacker instructor-led course. This course is amazing. It is a lot. It is a lot. But this is the primary course, and I say this with the utmost sincerity about this may be one of the most important courses moving forward in tech and IT. What we have, we've had different certifications from other bodies, but the AI Ethical Hacker is a course that takes into place some of the other ethical hacking and penetration courses that I've taken, and I see that it has extracted the best parts of it and made it into this complete certification that will be, I could say, the model for those who will utilize this. And the standard AI Ethical Hacker is just an amazing certification. We will have also a Q&A session, so we'll go over a few different things. The AI arms race, attackers versus defenders, as we proceed, AI is a double-edged sword in cybersecurity. So whether you are on the side of good or the side of evil, you can still use AI, and it can be manipulated and changed and transformed to be more personable for whatever your goal is. We have something in cybersecurity, TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures. And it used to be a lot easier because, such as nation states or certain types of hackers, you could kind of, well, this is their method, this is that method. Well, now we're dealing with AI, which has a ambiguous method that it'll use to be able to do whatever you would like it to do, and also to hide itself, which is really a big issue there, because if you don't know that you're being attacked, that's even worse. Attackers use AI to automate, adapt, and scale their tactics. So automation is to continue to try to um, do things, that same practice that goes over trying to infiltrate, get past the perimeters, and adapt to the different backgrounds, or whatever the defense that the victim has set up, and scale their attacks. So the AI, some of the demonstrations that I've done, is I penetrated a system, and then to go and to scale up. The hacking is a long game. So you're in the system, you stay there, and then you'll use it to scale up, and the different tactics to go through there, because it's all about elevated privileges. Defenders use AI to predict, detect, and respond faster than ever, because this is not a human who has to go back and have the Excel spreadsheet like a while back when I would train students. Here's this, you have this, enumeration. No, the AI itself is doing that. So predicted analytics to go through and pick and choose how to get into the system and to detect what someone's going to do. And now I'm speaking on the offensive scale here, and then the response. Let's go into the defender's role. The defender has to have that set up, but just like updating, you need to keep your system updated for security. Well, your AI needs to predict certain situations that may occur with different updates and things that may happen. Being able to detect when something is in the system, and or if there's just an attack. Even if the hacker doesn't get through the system, you needed to be able to detect that there was an attack and respond faster than ever than a human has to be able to respond, and having things in place for these scenarios. Now, we had tabletop exercises for cybersecurity, and we would go through, and those are humans at the table. If this happens, this happens, this happens. Well, if all departments are utilizing AI to predict, detect, and respond, then this would have to be molded by the type of departments that you're utilizing. So you have a human resources, you have a finance department. Let's say you have a manufacturing, which has the different things to be able to respond based upon the needs of that section and to protect that section. There's some proprietary things. that I won't go into detail, but being able to stop the production mode, or we've all talked about the DDoS attacks, to be able to just stop the business from being able to keep up with the continuity. Phishing and scams are now AI generated and are more convincing. They're all over social media, and they are used because things that are put up there, the fake information, go here if you want this and that, and even health scams that I've been able to see that people are doing that are actually hurting themselves. So AI is here. This is a part of our life. AI has been around since 1957, actually. Now, machine learning enhances malware, but it also helps detect it. So we look at both sides here. So the machine learning is always building, looking for different ways to go and become better and more powerful. Both sides are fighting to make sure that they can deal with each other. And of course, on our side, where we are to provide defense, we have to make sure that our machine learning enhances, and also to be aware of what is going on in the type of attacks. For instance, there is the Linux operating system, which has been known to be the most secure operating system, even though it's open source. But with machine learning, Linux has now become more in the forefront of news. If you go to LinkedIn or some of the cyber websites, you'll see that the Linux operating system is getting more and more, and attackers have been able to penetrate that. Ethical hackers must understand both AI offense and AI defense. As I've been training for years, and one of the first things that I teach is, in order to defeat your enemy, you need to know how your enemy works. And when I start, I teach basic IT, I go up into the networking, basic cybersecurity, and then I get into the advanced cybersecurity and those attacks. And I'll teach the students um, just the on a superficial scale on how to do certain types of attacks, and so that they can completely understand how to defend it. And when I'm consulting other businesses or IT departments for companies that I'm contracted with, this is one of the fundamental things that I'll teach also, because that IT personnel, they may have been working in that position for 4 or 5 years, they're settled in their jobs, but technology keeps moving. So now these are the different types of techniques that will go forward. One of the main targets for hackers is newly hired IT personnel, or help desk, or support roles. They are they are now the number one attack vector, and the AI generates different things to be able to go at those newly hired personnel. De- Deepfake social engineering, realistic impersonations of trusted individuals. It has been happening, and one of the things that has been a concern for me is with certain celebrities or powerful people, a deep fake, someone says, hey, invest in this, or don't invest in this, whatever, if it's a derogatory comment, and this stock falls, or everyone runs out to buy this thing or that, and whatever's going on with that. Some of the things that have happened, there have been celebrities and politicians who have had their faces put up on different things, and I've received phone calls before asking, is this real or fake? And obviously have a few different tools to be able to provide interpretation of the real and fake. But it's so good. And actually, I use these type of things to for marketing and doing other things and so forth. And when I can't be at this meeting, and to utilize that, but this is now, as far as on this the hackers and the this bad side of using this tool, this is one of the most important things to look out for. Now, AI generated phishing, personalized and adaptive attacks. As you gather intelligence on the individual that you're attacking, you put that into the AI, and the phishing will craft that so well and personalized that the victim that is getting that will, like, okay, well, this, without a second thought, clicking on this and clicking on that. And it's made my job pretty busy to go through and to um, provide things to fix the situations for those who have been hacked, and then remediation. One of the most important things that I want you to take out of this webinar is the self-learning malware continuously evolves to bypass antivirus tools. Now, an antivirus knows what a virus is based on the definitions. Basically, it'll know that, okay, if this code comes in and it looks like this, or that, then okay, we are to stop that from moving in. But the antivirus tools have to stay updated. Get that? There's antivirus and there's anti-malware. Malware can be more behavioral. So, for instance, and there are apps that do this. You downloaded a calculator app, for instance, and the calculator apps wants to make sure that it has full control of your system. Now, it's not about the code that came when you downloaded it, but what it wants to do. That is unusual behavior. For instance, to help you understand this, someone is using your credit card in Las Vegas, but you are wherever you are. So your bank sends you something to say, "Hey, is this you?" And before you even get that, the bank has stopped that transaction because this is unusual behavior. And you have to now be able to allow that transaction to go through or not. The self learning malware will keep going, bypassing these antiviruses, and um, it's about the heuristics and the behavior that needs to be inputted into there, and on a really granular scale in order to keep up with this. AI reconnaissance, automated scanning and profiling of targets. I remember using something called Nmap and a few other tools to teach and to have that look at this. But imagine having a system or this AI tool that will constantly watch you or watch this business and looking for anything or any weakness that's within there to be able to attack. This is being used in a lot of different things and other skills just around the world. So the reconnaissance, it doesn't need to turn off. It doesn't need to stop. It's continuously looking, keeping your tool going through there. Oh, we found this right here, or this is set up, or we have things that are called ephemeral ports. Those are virtual ports. Oh, someone's testing and this is left open, or this person did this. Just any scale of things that you can think about where someone will be that is providing a more vulnerable thing and target that'll come up. One thing that will is really scary. Let's say someone is waving their hand and saying hi. Well, their fingerprints are exposed. And so you're constantly scanning for those fingerprints so they can be utilized if that to be able to do biometrics and go and pretend to be that person. Yes, this is it's not Hollywood, it's not movies, this is real life. Now, let's look at this example. In 2023, a company lost 240,000 after a deepfake CEO voice call tricked an employee into sending funds. This has happened, and the irony of it is there was a school I was teaching for, and I received this. Luckily, I work in this field. I looked at it, and well, the voice and everything was so far convincing and everything. But I create AI myself, so I was able to kind of look at there's certain nuances that you can like, okay, well, this is not as a human speaks, and then hearing that CEO speak several times, the flow of their voice was off. But that's my world. And so, but this is something that you'll have to take into account and look at. Trust but verify. That's one of the the things being prior military that I've learned, and my colleagues are always talking about that. So if you do receive a phone call, whether it's from the CEO or whoever it is, then you need to go and verify before you execute any type of movement or do anything. Now, how is AI lowering the skill barrier for cyber criminals? Back in the day, we were always talking about what's called script kiddies. Script kiddies are those who don't have the training or any of this, so they use tools to do all types of bad things and so forth. And like, oh, okay, they don't know. And well, they don't need to know. This is how things are worked. There are certifications where you have the basic IT understanding and you'll have some security certification understanding. But the biggest part of one of the certifications is to know which tools to use in which situation. So that's what it is. It's a giant pool of different tools and what do I use to do this? You don't have to craft or make this or that. You want any of this malware, is out there right on the internet to go and mix and match like a recipe, so to speak. So if the person can just put this and that together, they can hack, and a lot of the hacking has been done by those with lower skills than the regular experts and so forth because that's not a need for it. Well, with AI, it has been exacerbated to be more accessible where you can utilize and someone who's been in IT for a month can take down a division of a Fortune 500 company. This is what we are looking and dealing with nowadays. AI enhances penetration testing and threat hunting. The penetration testing is really interesting with that. The penetration testing has a different set of rules, and it actually makes it a lot better. In penetration testing, you have what's called the rules of engagement, what you can and cannot do. And sometimes when you're going through and the pen testers are doing this and that, but you can put all those rules in there and expand your horizon. Remember that the um, the AI is looking for things. And so there will be things within the parameters that it will look at and proceed on that may be missed in the usual manual penetration testing. Threat hunting, looking for the threats themselves and trying to find those. I do love AI being used to utilize this. I want the those that do it to broaden the horizon into much more unorthodox testing with this. And with AI, you're able to go and add any of these things to it and then have it start learning to look for different methods and models in order to provide that threat hunting that can cover a much wider and faster base. Predictive analytics detects anomalies before they become incidents. Now, one of the great things about the NetCom certifications that they provide is the analytic detectors on one of the certifications that is a question on the test. And what's going on, the anomalies that you don't see. So you have a baseline of how things should be, the anomalies that happen, and the AI is looking for the patterns. Something's abnormal about the pattern, and the AI puts that there. So sometimes, well, in the earlier days, these anomalies would be something that could not be seen or didn't take much notice of. Now, any anomalies, because of how huge the cybersecurity threat is, must be taken into account and look at how small you may think it is to take a look at that. With this predictive analytics detection, it will get that. It will go, and without having to provide all that manpower, you can utilize the AI itself to follow that rabbit hole, so to speak, and to go down there and to look into where did this come from, what was this setup, how did this become. A lot of times, what happens is the hackers will test systems or test this to just check and go through, or they'll scan their victims and targets. AI helps automate reconnaissance and vulnerability assessments. Now, we talked about earlier the reconnaissance that the AI will look at and check, and we've talked about it from the offensive side to the defensive side that it does. The automation of the reconnaissance daily from a defensive side is something that, as an IT professional, that I feel should be a part of every system that does any type of business. That, from a certain scale, the mom and pop business may not, but those businesses that are taking in a certain amount of revenue, they need to have that to make sure that it covers this, and it's always checking. The automation is always a great tool. The vulnerability assessments that go through, remember, all these systems have updates. So what happens in the IT world is there's an update that would just occur. Well, this update may have a trigger effect that degrades something within your system, not intentionally, but everything is basically code. So the vulnerability assessment will go through, and it will check, make sure that everything is still within the the context of where it should be, the baseline. Those things that may not get noticed here, or the different settings and so forth, it will check. One of the ways that I was able to utilize this AI a few years ago, there was there was a set of computers, and they need to be re-imaged. They had to put the new image on it. Well, this particular system that I'm not going to mention, it utilized the Ethernet, the 802.3, where you plugged in the cable, but it also utilized Wi-Fi. So the small desktop computer had an antenna on it, and when you imaged the drive, it did something if both of them were, if you had it plugged in for the internet and the Wi-Fi, and it automatically opens something up without me getting into much detail. Well, the vulnerability assessment by using AI was able to notice that, even though there was a team that stated that there was nothing wrong and the systems were good to go, and just, the show must go on. And this vulnerability was pretty bad, and opened up some things, and we were able to get it fixed prior to it being to it going into use. Now you have the large language models assist in reporting, writing, and simulation creation. I love the simulation creation. To be able to have that tool and AI, and have that work to provide that, to be able to stop it and then go and look at something and to concentrate on it, is a great tool. Now let's take a look at these tools here. We have Dark Trace, IBM Watson. I've been a big fan of IBM Watson for years. GPT-based network analysis tools. We have those, and we have a plethora of different and other tools. Now, how ethical hackers can ethically use AI for defense and automation. There are set tools that you can look at and have specifically for that. And now you have the antivirus companies and the managed support MSP companies that have the tools when you become a a client of theirs that now have those defense and automation tools built into their platform that you will purchase or that you pay for monthly to be for your team to be able to use that. The AI is a part of all of that, and the different um, tools that can be used for the ethical hacking have different variations per company. So I would very much tell you to make sure that you look and see whatever this company utilizes for its defense and automation. Check it against the baseline of another company. I've had to do that and mix and match some. AI assisted ethical hacking, AI vulnerability scanning using automation and pattern matching. I mentioned that earlier about the patterns and finding the anomalies. AI vulnerability scanning will go through, check, have these things on a lot of the certifications. When you're getting those certifications, tell you get this tool, then get this tool to scan this, and this tool to scan that, and this tool to scan this, and then for years you just use the different tools to do that. You can put all of that together, and the AI itself can do all of the various testing. So it has made actually the job a lot easier. Phishing simulation crafted by a generative model. The hackers now will check, put this phishing together through the AI, and then will have that work and go and this phishing simulation with this work here afterwards have a report written on why it may not work. That is how sophisticated the phishing is and the phishing simulations. Now, the ethical hacker now can do that same thing and now be able to build their defense up for that potential victim that may have well, how would this vice president of this department get attacked and the phishing that perhaps they may get to look out for? Not just while they're at work, but the phishing that happens outside of that in their personal lives, and to be able to provide that training for them to know what to look for and to provide that. Because the biggest thing is training, training, training. You have to be aware. Now we have our machine learning malware detection through behavioral analysis, as I always emphasize. So the machine learning malware detection that will be the foundation of cybersecurity moving forward, because it won't be the human being, which is pretty much now. It is being able to detect that this is machine learning malware by certain things and patterns that it does. And as Gen AI has become so realistic and so powerful, this will have to be the basis of what we use and how we move from here on. How can AI strengthen ethical hacking responsibly and within compliance boundaries? Well, there are the updates, the things that are going, the CVEs. The CVEs are the different vulnerabilities that were discovered, and the the AI then can go and make sure that those boundaries are within the compliance so that, okay, well, this is how this works here. Again, I mentioned NIST, and this is the way that this cloud needs to be, and the connection from the personal cloud to the cloud provider needs to be within here. And this is the responsibility compliance boundaries that will be put together. Now, a note, I have not done this yet, but in a few months, I'll be helping someone to have the AI work, and we have infrastructure as a service. So that is where the client is responsible for the security of the system. You got cloud service, but you are the one who's configuring it, and you are the one who's responsible for the security of it. Well, this AI will be used to provide that and to help do that setup to make sure that it's in compliance and that the boundaries that are set are put there, in fact, without having to have this full team, just a few people to make sure that it's fully operational and going, and a quarter of the time that it normally took by utilizing AI and providing, of course, the ethical hacking to make sure that it is fully protected. And well, nothing is ever fully protected, but protected to the best of the ability of the machine and what we can put together to enhance it. Emerging AI driven threats, the next wave of cyber risk, adversarial AI attacks, tricking the ML models to misclassify. This right here will well, I don't want to say will, has been utilized to do that in the early days. Now everything is the AI craze and everyone thinking this is all brand new, and no, it's like a meme now to me. It's like, oh, okay, now it's cool. AI is cool now. But AI has always been around, been using it for years. The adversarial AI attacks tricking ML models to misclassify. In the earlier days when you were doing prompts, that was one of the things that was happening. And I think it was kept a little bit more under wraps with just the people who are really deep into AI with that, because that was one of the most scariest things to have it do what it's not supposed to do. Data poisoning, inserting false information to corrupt AI training sets. This is being done. There's I got a few people in, I guess, a Las Vegas tech convention that were able to do that and make the AI do what it wasn't supposed to do. The data poisoning, because what does AI use? It has a certain point of information that it has to deal with. Even if it's an AI that's growing, enhancing, or doing whatever it is, there's still a foundational data that it has. So inserting the false data to corrupt AI training sets, there have even been people who have put data into the AI to perform certain types of bias, to have this go, to present this, or they're part of something from whether it's political or being able to pump up a product or make something go up in price so that they can manipulate the cost basis. This is being used, and this has been used, and it's continuously being used. And now, though, that is so out in the open, it gets looked at. One thing that's really scary is that a lot of people will have the AI and believe everything 100%. There can be differences that are in there that, depending on the data and how much information is attributed to it, can have and become false by not anything malicious, but just because of how that data sees that and goes through that. With that little bit there, any data poisoning that you can put in there, and especially if you're training the AI, you can have that be manipulated. Model theft, stealing proprietary AI systems. Well. um, I think as we watch the news now, you can see that that is going on, but it's just manipulated into different versions, and so The early days, someone took something, oh, they changed the color and how this works and how this there. So it's just modifying that. They're still in the proprietary AI systems, especially when it comes to the Gen AI and those that you're able to grow and to basically model and how you want to is something that's now on the dark web to be able to build. And some of the hacking teams are utilizing that, and they've stolen some of the early proprietary systems that were not, fully protected well, to their best ability. And they have built up their own AI systems to be used as a weapon in order to, steal and gather information, sell information, and cause mayhem. Automated zero-day generation, AI discovering and exploiting new vulnerabilities. This is perhaps one of the most scariest things. So here's the deal. You have an AI that's out there looking for a zero-day attack is and a vulnerability or an attack that happens before the manufacturer knows what happened, that they even have a problem. You have ABC company that has this system, and now there's something where, oh well, if you do this, then you're able to exfiltrate some information. Basically, you're able to steal some information from the user, and it's a zero day. So before they can develop a patch and have a fix for that, and then they push that patch out, you have this AI that's looking at that in milliseconds. There are 1,000 seconds in 1 millisecond. And these things are going there, looking at that and performing an attack before anyone could even get going with their or the software teams to develop and build that patch and to understand even how that vulnerability works, how new threats are evolving beyond human speed, requiring hybrid AI human defenses. Let's take a look at the automated zero-day generation. That right there speaks in great detail about that. Um, you have to have that. All teams, in my professional opinion, need to be a hybrid from the small business on up. And it needs to be something that is just the standard in order to help with the sanctity of just business as usual, whether it's a small business or not. Now, follow the NIST AI risk management framework. I mentioned this, and I mentioned NIST. Obviously, they are where you go to find what is the best safe practices. The NIST AI risk management framework for safe deployment, making sure that you take a look to go through there. Anyone in the IT business that are dealing with any type of defense, you need to go through this in the specific areas where you're going to be dealing with. But because of AI being a permanent place in our society now, if you work in this field, you should go there anyway and make sure that you look through there, utilize that. Maintain explainability and transparency in AI tools. Obviously, there's a extreme amount of complexity that comes with AI. We see the different downloads that we have and the things that we use, but we don't know what goes on in the background of that and how these things work and how we utilize them to protect. Why does it do this? Why did it do this? Remember, it has predictive analytics, so why is it going this way when it could have went this way? And when you do a assessment after the fact or looking at it and going through it, and then being able to understand that. So going and getting these AI certifications, which will rise up even more to the forefront of what you will need because You will be monitoring the AI, and the AI will be doing a lot of the work. We need the oversight, of course, with AI to make sure that it's not running rampant and going through and doing this because it needs to know what not to do and what to do. Having the transparency in the AI tools to be able to look and audit, continuous auditing of different things. Generative AI is generative AI. As we watched many scientific movies, sci-fi movies, and the AI now starts taking on a mind of its own, looking at different things, and now you can fall out of compliance because the AI is not looking at that from a human perspective. And we have to stay within these parameters, especially for legal purposes. Stay compliant with GDPR where you're sharing information. There's so much scraping of information. Everything's about information. What is the new gold? The new gold is data, your data. So GDPR will what you can and cannot do. The ISO 27001, which are those that are looking, or if you've taken some of the certification tests, that always sticks out to you because you had to memorize that. But both of these are on several IT certifications, GDPR and the ISO 2701, and AI specific security standards. This is what will be, well, what is our new norm now. What can we do and what we cannot do and the parameters that set that up. You've customized this AI to be able to test your system and it can do this, and this, but what should it not do? Or what are the containment parameters for that AI specific security standard? Adopt ethical AI development principles in every project. Keep yourself out of trouble by keeping that together within there. Now, I know the bad guys, they don't have to adhere to the same standards that we do. And we need to also make sure that we do have the necessary tools or whatever is needed to be able to adapt to new threats. But we have to make sure within our parameters, such as the financial environment, certain students that I've taught and I'm mentoring now about they work at some works at banks, some work at credit unions, which are both financial institutions, and how they need to have that set up within there to keep that containment there and make sure that they can have that because those laws become a lot more stringent and can get you into a lot of trouble and can really, really hurt your company or could topple a company. AI ethics is not optional. Accountability and governance are as critical as technical skills. Absolutely. Because going through there, you can be removed, you can be put in this place. And as AI evolves in the decades ahead, you will see that the AI ethics will become more of something that you will see in the news. You'll see governing bodies talking specifically about that. And there will be specific rules that will have to be adhered to and the penalties will go up, especially when certain things happen when utilizing these tools and proliferation becomes that pattern with here. Well, this will fall into this place right here. And the world governments will join arms, so to speak, to prosecute those who fall outside the barriers of the ethics that are tied into AI. Understand AI and machine learning fundamentals for cybersecurity, making sure that you have these certifications and have that roadmap to mastering the AI, the cybersecurity. This is a must. You can have all the certifications, technical you want. Missing that AI certifications, you're just on a countdown from becoming more, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but your function of what you're doing becoming deprecated. That is for sure. This is not to push the agenda or to go through and like, hey, this as this big sales, this is there, and I'm sure each and every one of you that are listening to this know the truth that is based on this and how we're going. And you are utilizing AI tools everywhere that you are going, and this will be what you will have to know and learn. Now, perform AI driven penetration testing is an awesome thing, as I stated, because of those, especially those rules of engagements, that you make sure that you have that set in place to go through and step by step. I can personally tell you, AI-driven penetration testing has worked a lot smoother than a lot of the earlier penetration testing that were getting done manually and making sure, obviously, you followed your pattern and what you did and going through. But this has made it a lot easier. Automation, access and mitigate AI-based threats. Now, with AI being used to test and have that, the to be able to access and mitigate the AI-based threats is to make sure that the AI is able to recognize another AI and different things that machine learning would do, that baseline defense that you have, and then get a little bit above that with the anomalies and that, because you'll still, the hackers on the other side utilize the same thing, but they'll add different things to it to put something to together, such as, okay, well, we have this. Now you have something called steganography, where you can put code into a picture and having that go forth and trying to put that into the letterhead of different documents. There are so many things that I can tell you of different types of AI tags that we're able to go through, and then you add this and take away this and so forth, almost like a food recipe, and to be able to go and put your attack and move forward. So we follow ethical and compliance frameworks. That will be the thing, because you have a tool that can do all of these multiple things, but you are not supposed to do all of these multiple things. You cannot. You have a vehicle, you have a car, you have a SUV, whatever the case may be. You still have a compliance of how that vehicle has to be operated, right? So this falls into here. And before this, we had a ethical and compliance framework for how we moved in technology anyway. This has been just the standard and what's been set, making sure you stay within that. It's exciting to learn when I'm teaching students ethical hacking and making sure they know how to do this and that. Is so exciting. But there are things that you cannot do. This test environment where you're doing this is the only place that this will happen. Otherwise, you'll be in some very severe trouble, and making sure what you can and cannot do, but also being able to watch out for those who are trying to do that to whatever organization that you're going to go and work for, or even if you're going to start your own business. Please contact us at www.netcom.netcomlearning.com. Again, that's www.netcomlearning.com. AI search at netcomlearning.com. That is the email to use. This is a amazing program. So we have AI Plus Ethical Hacker Certification, which is going to be, I predict this upcoming year in 26, this certification is going to be so sought after, and the class is so packed. So get ahead of the curve and make sure that you are prepared with this certification. This is what it's a must. So I want to thank you for joining this webinar. I hope that it was helpful and insightful for you, and make sure that this is something that you will utilize.
Thank you, Ronald. That was very informative. And I know everyone's looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions in the questions panel. And while you're doing that, I'd like to pass the presentation rights over to Neha Kumari, our product marketing manager, who's going to introduce you to our wonderful and amazing promotions and webinar-related courses.
Hello, welcome and thank you. I hope you've all received the event handout, which is a great resource to guide you through today's session. We truly appreciate you taking the time to join us for this masterclass. Whether you are in healthcare, finance, marketing, or any other sector, AI driven data solutions are transforming the way businesses unlock value, streamline operations, and drive innovation. We pride ourselves on delivering AI cert trainings through our network of 3,300 plus certified instructors, all active experts in their fields. At Netcom, we've been empowering businesses worldwide since 1998 with cutting edge solutions that accelerate organizational growth and innovation. Our headquarters are located in the heart of New York City, and we are proud to offer worldwide delivery capabilities to support our global clients. Inside the handout you've received, there's a link to access the session recording for today's masterclass. This gives you the chance to revisit the material or dive deeper into any concepts you'd like further clarification on. Now, let's take a look at some of the latest AI cert courses available. They are divided by roles to help you choose the right path based on your career needs. I encourage you to click on the hyperlinks in the handout to explore the official course documentation and gain a deeper understanding of each offering. It's important to note that all our courses are taught by subject matter experts. Additionally, you'll enjoy perks like 180 days of access to virtual labs, 90 days of class recordings, and access to the Netcom 365 portal. You'll even have the option to repeat classes for free within a specific period if you miss a session or wish to review a topic. We've also included a few additional resources in the handout, including upcoming free events and insightful blogs. I highly recommend exploring these to broaden your understanding of our offerings and how they can help you and your organization achieve your learning and business goals. We have exciting upcoming schedules that you won't miss out. Here are some of them. These specialized programs will help you harness the power of AI for different roles and industries, ensuring you stay ahead in today's competitive landscape. We've also included a few additional resources in the handout, including upcoming free events and insightful blogs. I highly recommend exploring these to broaden your understanding of our offerings and how they can help you achieve your learning and business goals. These specialized programs will help you harness the power of AI for different roles and industries, ensuring you stay ahead in today's competitive landscape. As a part of your journey, we also recommend exploring these valuable marketing assets to further enhance your AI knowledge and skills. Learn about the Learning Passport and flexible team training packages we offer. For organizations with complex, geographically distributed teams, we offer the Learning Passport. This flexible solution allows you to consolidate your training funds for up to 12 months, unlocking tremendous value, including up to 100% additional value on your funds. With the Learning Passport, you get unlimited access to over 4,000 authorized training courses. If your team has ongoing skilling requirements, this is an incredibly cost-effective solution to meet your learning needs year-round. Additionally, the Learning Passport also includes access to certifications, virtual events, blogs, webinars, and special promotional offers available on our website. It's your one-stop solution for building a smarter workforce. And finally, be sure to check out Russell Sardar's latest book. As CEO of Netcom Learning, Russell has written a powerful framework to help organizations build smarter workforces, adapt to change, and drive growth in this rapidly evolving business environment. Don't miss out on this invaluable resource. Thank you for joining us today. With the right knowledge and skills, you can lead your organization to success and stay ahead in an AI-driven world. Stay tuned for more updates and exciting learning opportunities from Netcom Learning. Together, we'll shape the future.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Neha.
And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. If you haven't yet, it's not too late to pop your questions into the question panel. And as we start our Q&A sessions, we're also going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us to know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
First question in the queue is, will AI replace ethical hackers?
No, AI will not replace ethical hackers because you must have oversight from that. And the AI, even though you have machine learning and it is evolving, it will not replace it because of the different human needs. AI still will remain a tool for humans, not the the other way around, and they become our overlords. So no, they will not replace the ethical hacker. because different tools, different things that'll go that are created, and there are also different laws that will be dictating.
Second question, what programming languages are best for AI in cybersecurity?
Well, AI, the most the most widely used programming language is Python, and Python is relatively easy to learn from the different languages. I know several different languages, so those of you who are been work with C++, C Sharp, and some of the other older different languages, Python is there. But making sure that you have the other things that are tied to it. Ansible and TensorFlow with that. They need to be a part of that. Many students will ask me that in the Python, and make sure that you're, completely acclimated with Python. But you have to have those that attach there to it to be able to make it run. Otherwise, you're just it's the difference from learning. Well, you learn math, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Well, now we have the more advanced math that you have to do to really make things work. And so that's the thing. So the Python becomes that base, and then the others that are tied to it. Now you have R, Ruby on Rails that you'll use. And then if you're going into the mobile operating systems with Swift, which will be integrated with that to make sure that it works. And to, and in there, now the Java becomes a certain thing when you're dealing with building Android apps, for instance. So I would have that that understanding, but there are going to be other things that are tied to it. The main one I would stick with the Python is extremely important for there for that. You got the vibe coding, and plenty of people with no knowledge of vibe coding, and then their systems are extremely vulnerable because they you still have to have that foundational knowledge to know. You can tell the AI what to do, but you still need to be able to tell the AI what to do based on your knowledge. Next question.
Next question is, how can I get started in AI-driven cybersecurity?
You need to contact Netcom Learning. This amazing program. I even though I'm here speaking to you, when I heard about this program, that was one of the most exciting parts of my career, just to hear about that, and that the organization is presenting this in a curriculum-based fundamental way, and then there's a building hierarchy for it. So there's the basic. So hey, this is for everyone just to learn the basic AI, and then to go into the different sections there, from project management, certified ethical hacking for AI. Come on, this is the thing. So contacting Netcom Learning AI certs is the way to go and get ahead of the curve and be in front of the adversaries, because there are those who have been working in IT for 5, 10 years, and now they're going to sooner or later have to go and get these courses and get this knowledge in order to continue their job, or they will become relics and they'll be replaced by a new crop of people who do have this training. So Netcom Learning, AI certs.
Next question, what's the biggest AI threat today?
The biggest AI trend today is now what to do with my life. You would be shocked at how personal people are with finding what to do and how they should do this and there. So the building patterns, think of this. If AI is telling people how they should do this, whether it comes from their love life to shopping, getting groceries, to when they should take vacations, or even what jobs they should take. that trend that needs to be set should be based on a healthy and um, a safe baseline that is still there. Everyone's different, everyone's life is different, but it still has to be, don't, don't do this, you can do this, don't have this. And so that is the biggest trend, using AI to for your day-to-day activities and to plan your life out. That is the thing. Investing, when you should buy a house, how everything about that. People are putting their whole life into AI.
And the final question today is, how can organizations ensure that their AI use remains ethical and compliant?
Um, Making sure, as we were going through the webinar, we were talking about NIST and a few others because of the how tied it is into our life, that the staying constantly updated with that. One of the things that I work with an organization to build is to make sure that any compliance that is updated, changed, is immediately sent out to everyone that it it pertains to. The AI, remember, the AI is always, you have the AI that's always looking for the zero-day attack. As we went through there, we have the AI now that's looking to make sure in compliance, and also the AI to monitor the activities that are going on to make sure that you are within compliance. Making sure that the AI, one of the services I provided to a lawyer is to help them get more integrated with AI, and to have that set up so organizations have lawyers that they have certain compliance, so that basically tie the AI with whatever the legal department is, if you have that, and then the whatever the framework that your compliance, that your organization needs to adhere to when it comes to compliance. So making sure that it is always up to speed. And there's something called data scraping, but you can have direct feeds that go into your AI for compliance. Make sure that you filter that too. As I spoke earlier, the AI could receive bad data, so a threat actor could just put that in there to make sure that they change or manipulate that. So that is the thing to do, and that's another reason to make sure that you have humans tied to the hip with AI. With AI.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave this session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience, as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.